as well as on YouTube. Sorry, I was a little bit late. For some reason, TikTok was not letting me log in on my phone. I don't know what was going on, and then TikTok was not allowing me to put the title on the actual live stream, which was pissing me off. But anyway, let's go on. We're talking about how women are shrinking fibroids without surgery in 2026 today. Okay, really important topic because I don't know about you, but if you are dealing with fibroids, more than likely if you're watching me, you are desiring to shrink and dissolve your fibroids the natural way without surgical procedures, because as we know, surgical procedures don't get to the root cause of the problem. So I want to make that very clear. As you're coming in, let me know where you guys are watching from. If you're coming in on YouTube, click the thumbs up button so the algorithm can push this out to more women. Unfortunately, again, I don't have the title on there on TikTok, and I'm so pissed off about that. But yeah, let me know where you guys are watching from TikTok, from YouTube. Hi, welcome. Sorry that I'm late. TikTok was really giving me a hard time. So if you are following me and you're only on TikTok, TikTok can count their days. I have almost 60 followers on TikTok, 60,000 followers on TikTok, and I just might let it all go, okay? So get on our email list and get on our YouTube channel. All right, so let's get into it. I know that if you're watching me, you may be snowed in if you are in the southern eastern part of the US. Also, let us know who else is snowed in and what state are you living in, okay? I know that if you're out of the country, this is not affecting you, but yeah, we're experiencing a winter storm in the southern eastern region of the US, which is very interesting. So yeah, so I wanted to go live today. Actually, it was supposed to go live. I went live yesterday. I was supposed to go live again yesterday evening, but I did not get to do it. But we're gonna do it today. But anyway, because I want to do a Q&A live as well. But this is gonna be how women are shrinking fibroids without surgery in 2026. So let's get to it. I want to, because there's a narrative out there, right, that unfortunately surgery is your only option when you're dealing with fibroids, especially if your symptoms are bad. And I'm here to tell you that that's not true. Surgery is not your only option, okay? Contrary to popular belief. Hold on, I always forget to put the filter on YouTube about just subscribers commenting so we don't get trolls, okay? We don't get trolls, but if you're watching, if you're not a troll from YouTube, be sure to click the thumbs up button, okay? Because we get lots of trolls on YouTube Live, which is so weird. But anyway, okay, the old narrative is dying. The old narrative of only needing surgery to get rid of fibroids, that narrative is dying. You don't need surgery to get rid of fibroids, right? Women are starting to seek other ways of healing. Okay, and for those that are new, by the way, hi and welcome. My name is Sasha. I'm a holistic womb specialist. What I do is I help women who have fibroids, endometriosis, ovarian cysts, these womb issues. I help women completely heal, not just shrink their fibroids, but dissolve their fibroids. I've also helped women reverse endometriosis, adenomyosis, PCOS, ovarian cysts, heavy bleeding, restore their hormonal balance, get pregnant naturally after years of infertility. And how I do this is by getting to the root cause of the problem, addressing the root cause of why there's this breakdown in the body, addressing the root cause of why you grew tumors in your body, why do you have cysts in your body, right? It's important that you understand that these conditions don't come out of nowhere. Fibroids do not appear out of nowhere. Endometriosis does not appear out of nowhere. They appear when you're dealing with hormonal imbalances, when your lymphatic system is congested, when we have toxin overload in the body, when your body is highly inflamed, when your digestive system is backed up. They don't appear out of nowhere, okay? And if you're watching on TikTok, definitely click that like button, okay? So we can get more women in here. I don't know what's going on with the algorithm today. It's failing me today, but that's okay. We're gonna go on because we have we got the replay on YouTube like always. And if you're watching me, let me just say this. If you're watching me from TikTok and you like my content, TikTok, subscribe to my email list because I'm not going to be on TikTok for long because on my phone I can't even log in anymore. So there's that. And I have almost 60,000 followers. So there's that. How do you fix it? We're going to talk about that today, Latoya. We're going to talk about that today. Okay, so stay tuned and tap on that screen so that we can get more women on here. Okay, So for years, women have been told the same thing about fibroids over and over again. And if you're watching on YouTube, let me know. Let me know if you're snowed in too. Let me know if you have fibroids. Put a 1 in the chat. YouTube typically is so quiet. But thank you, Latoya, for the likes. I appreciate it. Yes, let's get more likes. Tap. If you're coming in, tap, tap, tap on that screen. Women have been told the same thing about fibroids over and over again. Over and over again. And sometimes they're still being told the same thing about fibroids today. Okay? So you have fibroids, you know, the solution is go have surgery. You have a fibroid. Okay, discreetly London. Okay, so you're in the right place. Tap on that like button. Tap, tap, tap. Thank you, ladies. Let's like, your fibroids are too big. They're telling you can only have surgery to get rid of it, or just have a hysterectomy. Typically, when you have big fibroids, they're like, just have a hysterectomy. Your bleeding is out of control. The solution is, for when it comes to the doctors, go take this birth control or go have a myomectomy when you're dealing with fibroids, right? So a lot of women have been told these things when it comes to fibroids, like these solutions, and they realize it's not really a solution because they're still dealing with the fibroids. Okay, so it's important that you understand. So the only option is not just to cut it out or take out your uterus. And women have been told that since the beginning of time, for decades, about fibroids. They've been told that the only solution is to cut it out, cut the fibroids out, take out your whole uterus, or just manage the symptoms with birth control. And that's not the case. I want you to know that, okay? That is far from the case, okay? But what's happening, actually, I feel like this started happening a couple years ago. What's happening right now is women are realizing that they're beginning to wake up. And they're beginning to see, wait a minute, I'm having the surgery. I had the surgery, but I got the fibroids came back, right? Wait a minute, I did it the doctor's way and what they told me to do, and I'm still dealing with this issue. Some of you have had multiple surgeries, right? Women are growing the fibroids back after surgery, and they're realizing that the surgery did not heal them. The myomectomy did not heal them. The UFE procedure did not heal them. They regrew the fibroids again. And they realized that these surgeries, these procedures just remove the fibroids temporarily. They don't actually get to the root cause of the problem. So a lot of women are looking for another way, okay? And that's probably why you're here, looking for another way. And because eventually you get tired. I was at that point too where I was like, wait a minute, I had the surgery, but the fibroids came back. So why would we again put our body through that again? So what is actually the real solution? Why are these fibroids actually growing? Like, it's important for you to know that as a woman. Fibroids do not just appear out of nowhere. I don't care what they tell you. They do not just come out of nowhere, okay? So let's talk about why surgery does not work long term, because it's important for you to know that. And if you've had surgery, put a 1 in the chat. And I was telling my email list today about how not only do they coerce you to have surgery, they tell you, listen, if you have this surgery, you have to get pregnant within 6 months after the surgery, right? Or 6 months later after the surgery, or because they know the fibroids will grow back, right? So they got to hurry up and have a baby within 6 months, which is so toxic, and it actually is a fear tactic, right? I hate the fact that they have scared, and not everybody's ready to have a baby, and everybody is ready for that right now. So they scare women into thinking this is your last opportunity, or that's it. And that's not true. That's not true. I was told that as well. That's not true. Okay. So let me explain to you why surgery is not the answer. Surgery removes the fibroid. It does not remove the reason why your body created the fibroid. It's very important for you to realize what you have to stop asking. I know a lot of women are going to get on here and ask, how do I get rid of the fibroids? The first question you need to ask is, how did my body create this fibroid? That's how you really understand what's going on in your body on a deeper level, right? That should be your first question. Your body created fibroids because your body, something's out of balance in your body. Number one, you're dealing with estrogen dominance, okay? And I talk about this all the time, a very serious hormonal imbalance that a lot of women are dealing with. If you have PCOS, you're estrogen dominant. If you have ovarian cyst, you're estrogen dominant. If you have heavy bleeding, you're estrogen dominant. Like the signs and symptoms are so many. Irregular periods, estrogen dominance, right? It's when your body's not producing enough progesterone to balance out the estrogen levels, right? It's not producing enough progesterone levels to balance out the estrogen in your body. And your estrogen in your body is not metabolizing and detoxifying appropriately, right? Which causes, again, abundance of, whether you have low or high estrogen levels, right? If your progesterone is extremely low, that's going to cause, and it's not balanced, it's so low that it cannot balance that estrogen levels, it's going to cause estrogen dominance, right? And estrogen dominance is not even just about progesterone and estrogen. It's about your sex hormones. It's about cortisol and insulin. Before we even get to the sex hormones, what is impacted first is the foundational hormones, which are cortisol and insulin. So it's important for you to know that. This is how you understand what's going on with your body on a deeper level. So if you are dealing with fibroids, you're dealing with estrogen dominance by default, okay? So it's important for you to know that. Can you have fibroids on your left and right side? Absolutely. 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 That's a good question. Absolutely. Right? You can have so if you have multiple fibroids, you can have some over here, you can have some over here, right? Or you can have them all on one side, or you can have them all, like, it just, yeah, it varies from person to person on where they actually grow the fibroids. So yes, that's a good, you can. So when your body's estrogen dominant, it does not just affect your sex hormones, it affects your body. Again, it means that your stress hormones are too high, and that's stealing progesterone from your body, causing that hormonal imbalance. And it causes a ricochet effect in your body. Like it's not just one or two symptoms. No, it causes a lot. And the longer you are estrogen dominant, the more symptoms, the more destruction it will do to your body. That's why it's so important that you're able to reverse this. So when you have fibroids, it also means that your liver is not detoxifying estrogen properly. It also means your lymphatic system is backed up. Your gut is not eliminating excess waste and hormones, properly. Okay. You have a lot of unprocessed trauma in the womb. Okay. On an energetic level. If you don't address, and your elimination organs in your body are backed up. So what's going on is that in your body, your detoxification channel is backed up. So what this is going to cause is that your body is keeping waste in. The channels for it to get rid of waste is blocked. So it's important that you know that. So fibroids do not just come out of nowhere, out of the blue. Your body has to create the conditions before fibroids can even appear. Okay? So if you don't address the root causes, your body will keep growing the fibroid, producing new fibroids. It doesn't matter how many times you have surgery, it will continue producing new fibroids. Okay? So this is why doctors tell women, and I was saying earlier, and I even talked about this in my email, a lot of doctors are telling women, like, after they have surgery, within 6 months, you need to hurry up and have a baby, or, because they know that fibroids will grow back, okay? They know that surgery is a Band-Aid. It's not getting to the root cause of the problem. It's temporary. It's temporary relief. But I want you guys need to evolve past just only desiring temporary relief. And actually desire to be healed. That's important. We can't just want temporary relief and that's it, okay? And we just settle for bad health, okay? You have to evolve past that, right? Okay, YouTube. Okay, hey, YouTube. Yes, thank you, Marsh. Please like and subscribe if you're watching from YouTube. I had a hysterectomy because of adenomyosis and endo and heavy bleeding and still having issues. Thank you so much for sharing that, Mrs. Let me see if I can pin your message. 227, you're 36. Oh my God, I wish you would have followed me. I wish you would have followed me earlier. I'm so sorry that, when did you have a hysterectomy? And is this something that your doctor pushed on you? Okay, I would love to know that. But yeah, here's the thing, ladies, and there's still something you could do. When you've had a hysterectomy and you haven't addressed the root cause of the problem, you're still gonna have issues because that estrogen dominance is still there. So the hysterectomy just takes out the uterus. It does not actually heal you. It doesn't heal you. And that's the lie that they're telling women, that, you have a hysterectomy, all of your symptoms will go away. No, you're still hormonally imbalanced. And now it's even worse because you don't have your vital organs. You don't have your uterus, which again helps with hormonal balance. 2024, okay. So your job should be still to get to the root cause of the fibroids, still, because again, you still have the hormonal imbalances, the toxin overload. You still have the conditions in your body that created the fibroids, and what it will do is just manifest into another problem. It's another problem if you don't take care of it. Okay, So the pain was intolerable. It was like my uterus was having contractions, like I was giving birth. You're in the right place, because we've had so many women, and I don't know if you just started following me. Thank you so much for being here. If I'm looking this way, this is YouTube, this is TikTok, right? So you know, just to let you guys know, I'm live on both. And if you're watching from TikTok, I was saying earlier how TikTok can count their days when it comes to me, because they won't even let me log in on my phone. I have almost 60,000 followers. I've been having issues with TikTok. So if you are following me, get on my email list, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will always be on YouTube. But TikTok, I don't know how long I'm going to be on TikTok. TikTok is really, like I said, going downhill, okay? So thank you, Ashley Artist, for the likes. So what's the point of a hysterectomy? That's true. You know, let me just say that you can heal naturally. And I know I've had clients that were bleeding. I'm talking about bleeding out for 3 weeks at a time. I had a client she said that she would bleed so much, and it would last for 3 weeks every single month. She would bleed for majority of the month. And I'm not talking about light bleeding, heavy bleeding, to the point where she has to be rushed to the emergency room multiple times. Her everyday life was affected, right? She couldn't really fully take care of her daughters like she wanted to. And I have her whole video testimonial. Within 3 days of working with me in my Detoxify Your Womb program, within 3 days, she saw relief when it comes to her bleeding. Her bleeding stopped. She said she'd been going to doctors for years. That had never happened. Her pain and her bleeding stopped. By the time her period came back, it was much lighter, and it lasted for about 3 days, and she couldn't believe it. She was like, this is the first time I did not need these huge overnight pads. So I need you guys to know that your body can heal naturally. And if you've already had a hysterectomy, that's okay, but you still have to do the work and get to the root cause of the problem, because the problem is still there. I had fibroids and cysts, and my cysts ruptured, had to do a myomectomy. Okay, so now that we've done a myomectomy, we have to still, first of all, nobody has to do a myomectomy, right? Unless it's like a, an emergency situation. However, if you've already done a myomectomy, that's fine. A lot of my clients have already done myomectomies. You still have to get to the root cause of the problem, because we don't want the fibroids to grow back, okay? A myomectomy does not heal you. And I'm still bleeding and have pain. I have a cervix. Okay, I'm taking progesterone vaginally. I found you on Facebook. Okay, hey, thank you for following me here. I saw your one-on-one price. I can't afford you yet, so I'm here. Okay, and send me a message on Facebook after this. Don't forget, okay? Send me a message on Facebook. Let's talk about what women are doing in 2026 nowadays to shrink and dissolve their fibroids. And these are the women that I work with, okay? What are they doing? Okay, women that I work with, what are they doing? They're addressing their hormonal imbalances. They're addressing the estrogen dominance. Because that has to be addressed. You cannot heal with imbalanced hormones. So they're addressing that. Estrogen dominance is one of the key root causes of fibroids, PCOS, endometriosis, adenomyosis. It's not simply high estrogen, because you can have low estrogen and be estrogen dominant. It's about the way your estrogen levels in relation to your progesterone levels. So if you know that your estrogen levels are low, then your progesterone levels are even lower, okay? So it's important that you understand that, because when I say estrogen dominance, women think, oh, it's high estrogen. Not necessarily. It could be. It's about the way your estrogen levels are detoxifying, are metabolizing. And when you are estrogen dominant, you're not detoxifying and metabolizing those things, estrogen levels in your body appropriately. Hope that makes sense. And the ratio between your estrogen levels and progesterone levels are completely off, right? Before you even get to the sex hormones, you got to pay attention to the foundational hormones. That's the root. So it's important that you understand that. So you have to also reverse the estrogen dominance, right? That's what I do with my clients in the 6-week womb healing experience. That's one of the things that we do. We have to reverse and completely restore your hormonal balance, because your body cannot heal if it's out of balance, right? So women are reversing their estrogen dominance by supporting their elimination organs. Because like I said, if you have fibroids, if you have these reproductive health issues, what's going on is that the detoxification channels in your body are overloaded, are overburdened. So your body has a lot of toxin overload. There's a lot of toxins in the body. So we have to open up the elimination channel so that the toxins can flow out and not stay in and cause all of this, turmoil in the body. Hopefully that makes sense, right? So you have to support your elimination organs. You got to support your lymphatic system. You got to support your guts, because that, again, these things are backed up when we're dealing with fibroids. Fibroids do not come out of nowhere. That's something that you guys have to understand and get through your heads. It does not come out of nowhere. The conditions in your body allow for the fibroids to develop. I don't care if everybody in your family has fibroids. If the conditions in your body does not allow fibroids to develop, it's not going to develop, okay? So this is how we know we have control over whether we develop fibroids or not, whether it runs in your family or not. And yes, you can be more predisposed to fibroids, but that does not mean you have to get fibroids, and that does not mean you cannot shrink and dissolve your fibroids. So hopefully that makes sense. Is it okay to drink green juice or ginger tea? Green tea or green juice? Yeah, you can drink both. Absolutely. Green juice is great. Ginger tea is also great. So it's important. And also, too, a huge thing is managing your stress levels. Listen, one of the biggest feeder of fibroids is stress. So you have to manage, if you're dealing with fibroids, not only are you inflamed, you're dealing with, like, your body is in a state of stress, right? Which, of course, if you're inflamed, of course, your body's going to be in a state of stress. So you do have to manage your stress levels appropriately, because when those cortisol levels increase, the progesterone decreases. That causes estrogen dominance and also a series of hormones becoming out of balance. So you have to you have to manage your stress levels appropriately, and you have to get your body out of a state of stress. Okay. Also, what women are doing to completely heal, support their to shrink and dissolve their fibroids in 2026. Okay, they're supporting their elimination organs. They're supporting the organs in their body that help. Like the liver is the body's master detoxifier. So if you have fibroids, that means that liver is congested. That means that liver is overloaded. Is trying to remove waste and trying to, do its job, but it's having trouble because we cannot develop fibroids, right? If the liver is healthy. You have to understand your body works together as a whole, okay? Thank you guys so much for following me on TikTok. Listen, I was saying earlier, TikTok, I could not log into my TikTok. It took me forever to log into it on my iPad, and on my phone, I can't log into TikTok. So I will be probably soon, I will be counting my days on TikTok. TikTok would not be around forever. So, well, when it comes to me, I will not be on here forever. I have almost 60,000 followers. I will not be on here forever. So if you are enjoying my content and are learning, I will subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also subscribe to my email list. And you can do so by clicking the link in my bio, okay? If you're just following me on TikTok, you're going to look up and I might not be there, okay? How to detox while breastfeeding. You don't want to, we're not really talking about that. I want to stay on topic, but you don't want to do a harsh detox while breastfeeding. You don't, okay? Yeah, we don't. So now you have to support your elimination organs, the liver, the colon, the kidneys, the lymphatic system, right? That's important. You don't want your body to be overloaded with waste. And guess what, ladies? Because I know that some people would hear this and say, well, let me just go do a detox. It's not that simple, because a lot of people go to do a detox and then they go back to their bad habits. So then what was the point? You wasted your time. You wasted your time. What you want to do, you want to get your body to the point where it's detoxifying itself every single day, because that's what your body was made to do. So if your body's not, if you have fibroids, that means your body's not appropriately detoxifying itself every single day. You're getting in your body's way, okay? Any supplements that promote, I don't promote supplements, but I will say, because supplements don't heal. A lot of women that have fibroids, unfortunately, not all, I'm not talking about you, are focused on supplements, are focused on remedies. We don't do that over here, because that doesn't heal. That just provides temporary relief. What heals is getting to the root cause of the problem. And that's, again, the foundation. If you want to increase your progesterone levels, you have to reverse estrogen dominance. You have to first start with the foundational hormones, the cortisol and the insulin, okay? That's why we're talking about this, okay? So it's important. So you can't just focus on just one hormone. And let me say this, you can't just focus on one hormone. This is how you guys just perpetually chase your symptoms. Your hormones work together. If you're about healing, you should want your hormones the goal should be to restore hormonal balance, not just to focus on one hormone. Because if one hormone's off, so are the others, okay? I have 4 fibroids. One is 5x4, feeling discomfort. You're in the right place. And if you're coming in, you know, in the middle, but make sure that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. The link is in my bio. Subscribe, because I told you guys I will not always be on YouTube, okay? Another thing that, another way I help women with getting, you know, shrinking and dissolving their fibroids is by healing their lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system is literally your body's cellular waste system. Not always on TikTok. Okay, I'm not either. So be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, J Ruby. Okay, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Get on our email list. I was just saying earlier, like I said like a few times, I'm getting off TikTok soon, because I didn't see your question, Jesse. Put it in the chat again. Is it a good sign if my 7-centimeter fibroid has grown slightly in 18 months and I have 3? No. If it's grown at all, that's the problem. No, we have to, no. We have to stop settling for that. It's a good sign if it's shrinking. That's a good sign. And in 18 months, listen, you can get rid of it. I don't like to put a time on it, but you can get rid of a 7-centimeter fibroid in less than 18 months. I had a client get rid of 100% a 6-centimeter fibroid in 3 months, who was in my Detoxify Your Womb program for 3 months. Okay, so we have to, no, that is not good. Okay, that's not good. So if your lymphatic system, again, if your body's cellular waste system, if you have fibroids, your lymphatic system is congested, okay? So we have to work on the lymphatic system. If you have fibroids, the lymphatic system is backed up with toxins, with waste, excess waste, fluid is getting trapped there. So we have to learn how to promote a healthy lymphatic system. That's important for your body when it comes to your body healing, okay? And it doesn't just improve the health of your womb, it improves the health of your entire body. You have to learn and understand. I know that doctors teach this differently, but you have to understand doctors are not there to heal you. When it comes to your reproductive health, doctors are not there to heal. They're there to surgically cut you open. Some of you guys, that's already, you already know that they're there to provide you medication. They're there to offer you a hysterectomy. They're not there to heal the problem and get to the root cause of the problem. They weren't taught that, and you're not supposed to go to the doctor for that. So when you have fibroids and you're continuously going to the doctor, you have to ask yourself, why? What am I looking to gain from the doctor, right? They're just going to tell you it's genetic, which is not a sufficient answer. They have limited views and standpoint when it comes to fibroids. They've been repeating the same lie for decades. They haven't updated their system or their research or nothing. It's the same. So it keeps you again stuck on this hamster wheel, looking for relief, looking for healing. So you have to ask yourself, why do I keep going back? Okay. Is it depending on where my fibroid is located? What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm not understanding the question. Okay. I'm perimenopausal though. Maybe it's feeding off the estrogen. Well, I'll talk about this on Threads. I'll talk about this on Facebook. Okay. Let me just say this with perimenopause. When you have fibroids, you will have your perimenopause will be hell, right? But what you gotta know is that they have the same root causes. So perimenopause is not inevitable. It's hormonal imbalance and toxin overload. It does not just happen because you're 40 or 45. It's toxin overload and hormonal imbalance. As somebody that has worked with many women that are perimenopausal, that have perimenopausal symptoms, once you heal your body, once you balance your hormones, once you reverse estrogen dominance and work towards shrinking the fibroid, the perimenopause symptoms go away completely. It's due to decades of your body being under stress of, lifestyle factors, environmental factors. It's really for women to look inward and put themselves first. But women are taking it as, this is a time in my life. This happens at this age. This happens because of my age, and that's it. There's nothing I can do about it but get on fake hormones. That's not true. you can completely get rid of your perimenopausal symptoms and avoid it 100%. Avoid it 100%. Yeah, because now you see it's not, with perimenopausal, it's not even an age thing, because women in their 20s are having the same symptoms. So then what? So when you are healing your womb and rebalancing your hormones, you can get rid of all your perimenopausal symptoms. As women, we don't have to suffer. We have to stop accepting suffering, okay? We've accepted suffering when it comes to our period, which again, we know is false. You're not supposed to suffer in your period, and that again means hormonal imbalance. We can't accept suffering when it comes to perimenopause. They'll trick you into thinking that your body malfunctions at a certain age. When you're a teenager, they try to put you on birth control. When you're in your 20s, birth control. 30s and 40s, late 30s, 40s, 50s, now it's HRTs. Now it's perimenopause. They've got you to think that your body is supposed to just malfunction. No, we have to evolve the way we think about our bodies, okay? You have to start listening to your body. It's not going on. There's no such thing as bad health and age. There's no correlation there, right? There's no correlation there. It's all about how long have I neglected my body? How long have I been in a state of stress? How long have I ignored my boundaries? It's so much deeper than that, okay? And I'm sure I have a video about perimenopause on my YouTube channel. Make sure that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, ladies. The link is in my bio. Okay, so I'm trying to officially, Viv, trying to see your question. Is it depending on where the fibroid is located to remove it? I mean, naturally, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where it's located. I've had clients with all types of fibroids, even cysts in their breast, even a fibroid in their breast. It doesn't matter where it is. A tumor your body can dissolve a tumor. It doesn't matter where it is. Okay, you're welcome. So also too, when you're dealing, for women that are shrinking and dissolving their fibroids, they're also focusing on their gut health as well. That's important. You have to have, when you are dealing with fibroids, your gut. Thank you so much, Ashley Artist. I appreciate it so much for your likes. Yes, your gut helps your body eliminate excess waste and hormones. It's really important that your gut is healthy. When your gut is healthy, your body can't heal. Of course, you're going to be backed up. Of course, your hormones are going to be out of balance, right? And when you're dealing with fibroids, your gut is not healthy. So if you're constipated, if you have poor gut health and digestive health, the waste is just being reabsorbed back into your body, okay? They said mine's in the back of the womb. Okay, it doesn't matter where it is. It can shrink and dissolve. It doesn't matter where it is, okay? So don't get so caught up with location, ladies. I'm saying this. We get caught up with the wrong things. The focus should be on getting rid of that fibroid, shrinking it, and dissolving it, okay? So healing your gut supports hormonal elimination. And this is what, again, for women that are dealing with fibroids, and you want to work with me, and you are ready to shrink and dissolve your fibroids, right? We do have our 6-week womb healing experience open, which is my 6-week program. If you are wanting to work with me, and during the process of shrinking and dissolving your fibroids, we had a client who had her uterus was about the size of an 8 to 9 month pregnancy. It was huge. And it caused her to have this huge fibroid belly. And within a month of being in the 6-week womb healing experience, she was able to drastically decrease her fibroid belly. And it was hard. And she looked pregnant. She had large fibroids. Was able to drastically decrease that within 6 weeks. We had a woman that was bleeding literally for, she said, 42 days in a row. By the time she came into the 6-week program, she was like, she had been in the hospital. It was really bad. Her iron levels were so low. Within the 3rd week, her bleeding stopped 100%. And she was feeling like herself again. She had more energy. Before, she couldn't do anything. She had to take off work because the bleeding was that bad. And her anemia was so bad. So we also had a client shrink her fibroids from 7 centimeters to 3 centimeters within 2 months of working with me, okay? And we had a client get rid of all of her PCOS symptoms in the 6-week womb healing experience. We have so many testimonials. So if you are wanting to work with me, if you are like, listen, I'm tired of suffering. I want 2026 to be the year that I become fibroid free. I become healthy. I become hormonally balanced, right? And I improve not only the quality of my life, but I improve me as a woman. The link is in my bio to check out our 6-week womb healing experience. We have clients. We have one more, no, not even one more week. In one more week, it's one more week. The price will go back to the original price. Right now, it's $500 off the original price. Okay? Hint, hint. So it's at a special price right now until the 1st of February. We also have Klarna Afterpay, Affirm, right? Or you can pay in half and pay the other half the next month. So if you're interested, the link is in my bio. If you're watching from YouTube, the link is in my description box if you want to check out the 6-week womb healing experience, okay? So I had to mention that. Okay, so also too, extremely important to healing your body, healing your womb, and shrinking your fibroids is nervous system regulation. Your body cannot heal in stress. Stress literally raises your cortisol levels, and it steals your progesterone. Do you guys know that? Your body cannot heal in stress. There's a lot of women that are trying to get rid of fibroids and they're living in stress. Your body will not heal. Your body will not heal in that state. Low progesterone. So when you're stressed out, when your cortisol levels are high, your progesterone decreases drastically. And that is estrogen dominance. That's estrogen dominance. Okay. You gotta regulate your nervous system. That's important so that your body can actually heal. That actually should be your first step. Getting your body out of a state of stress. You cannot continuously live in a stressful state and think that your body's gonna heal. It's not. Iron infused is a bad idea. It depends on the situation. If it's an emergency and you need blood, your blood count is extremely low, do it one time to stabilize, but you can get your iron levels up naturally. So it does not last. Iron infusions, that's not really the type of iron that your body recognizes, but if it's an emergency where you're about to, I don't want to say the word, but it's that low where it's like you can just, die, then get an iron infusion or blood, whatever. I would do iron infusions over a blood transfusion anytime. But if you think that you're going to, if you don't have a plan about getting your iron levels up, and then you're going to need that every few months, and that's not, again, you're just going to stay in toxicity, so you're not going to heal. So the natural way is always better. All right. So healing the emotional root cause. This is important because fibroids are not just physical; they're also emotional as well. Like your womb holds trauma. Your womb on an energetic level holds traumas when you're dealing. So when you're dealing with fibroids, it's not just physical. It's also, it could be grief. It could be heartbreaks. It could be, anger. It could be pain, like I already said, heartbreaks. It could be pain that you haven't dealt with from past relationships. It could be sexual trauma. It could be abortions. It could be miscarriages, right? It could be fear and anxiety. It could be childhood trauma. There's something that you're holding on to on an internal level or that you suppressed. So it's important that you also do the emotional work, not just the physical work. Okay? Right, they don't last. Yeah, iron infusions don't last. You're going to need it every couple of months. Have to get it for 6 months prior to myomectomy. Yeah, it does not last. So I would only say in emergency situations, but that's not a, how can I say this? It's not getting to the root cause of the problem. You have to, if you're anemic, you heal your gut. Your body's not absorbing iron. You can have all the iron infusions you want. Your body will your iron levels will keep going low. It will keep going low, okay? It's not a long-term solution. It's if you're about to die solution, like your iron is that low. That's it. But you cannot rely on iron infusions to heal yourself. No. So if you don't address the emotional root cause, your body will keep creating fibroids. Again, we talked about how when you have fibroids, that means that your body's under stress. When you're suppressing trauma, that puts your body in a stressful state. That raises your cortisol levels and decrease. So stress is not just physical, it's also emotional. The things that you're holding on to. So women that have fibroids, ask yourself, what am I suppressing or what am I holding on to? Because that's going to, again, also help you heal as well. Stress is not just physical, it's also emotional. Okay? So if you don't heal, if you don't address the emotional root causes, your body will keep creating the fibroids, okay? So it's when you're doing the womb healing work, you're also releasing these things that you've held on to for so long. You're also releasing a lot. You're addressing them. You're allowing them to come to the surface, and you're releasing, so that you're not continuously storing the trauma that you've encountered. Okay, that's really important. So you have to, like I said, it's important for you, like I always say in almost every video, and if you're watching me again on TikTok, be sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, because they're not letting me log into TikTok on my other devices, so I might just have to delete my whole account. I don't know. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because I will always be going live on YouTube, if not on TikTok. It's important that you understand that when you have fibroids, it's due to the internal environment in your body. It's the emotional environment in your body. It's not just random, y'all. It's not just, it's genetic. It's deeper. You have to go deeper and stop falling for these random remedies, the random remedies, the random teas and the detoxes and the supplements. You're missing the point, and you're focusing on short-term solutions. You're not doing the real work. Okay? So in order for us to do the real work, we got to go deeper and not be afraid to go deeper. We have to address the root cause of the problem. We cannot continuously just skim the surface and have these surface level solutions. They're not going to do you any good. They're not going to do you any good. Eventually, this is why women will tell me they've tried detoxing, they've tried acupuncture, they've tried dry brushing, they've tried all of this stuff, or supplements, they've tried this, and the fibroid is still not shrinking and dissolving, because they haven't got to the root cause of the problem. They've only did the surface level work. And that's not even the work. That's just they've only did surface level remedies. And I'm not saying not to do those remedies, but I'm saying that more has to be done. When your body has developed a tumor, you got to take it more seriously. You can't just think, I'm going to just drink this tea and it's going to magically evaporate. We got to get real. My whole life has been trauma and me surviving it. I'm so sorry. And listen, we've all been through trauma. Listen, let me just say this. We've all been through trauma. It's not about whether you've been through trauma or not. It's about whether you're holding on to it. Okay? So you have to, and I say as adults, we have to get ourselves out of survival mode, physically and emotionally. Because survival mode is not only physical, it can also be emotional. So you have to change that state. You have to change your state of thinking as well. And also, we have to do the work on process what we went through and release it, okay? Because trauma is something, it's a human, if you're a human, you're going to experience trauma. It's just going to happen. But it's the difference between you actually holding on to it and suppressing it. There's a difference. Or are you working through it? Are you processing it? And are you releasing it? Are you learning your triggers? Are you working towards it, right? I've been doing this for years, missus. I've been doing this for years, okay? Studies. I've worked with, at this point, hundreds of clients. I'm not new to this. And yes, I have my whole story on YouTube if you want to check it out. I have my whole story. Yes, I did have fibroids over 10 years ago. And number one, they made me have surgery. They coerced me into having surgery, did not know what I know now, and the fibroids grew back, and I was able to heal myself, okay? So yeah, I've been doing this for years. I'm not new. And I've had hundreds of client results over the years. Okay, so you guys that are new, check out my testimonials. You can go to my TikTok. Some of the pinned posts are testimonials. You can scroll down. Yeah, both my parents died by the time I was 22. I'm sorry. I felt my heart was numb then. Thought I got over that. Have you ever done grief counseling, ST? I'm sorry to hear that. Any questions before I go? Any questions before I go? Again, the 6-week womb healing experience is open. If you're wanting to join me in getting rid of these fibroids and reversing the conditions that contribute to your fibroid, right? So that fibroids can shrink and dissolve, so that we can be fibroid free. A lot of you guys, if you do the work now, you can be fibroid free by the summertime. If you do the work now, okay? Listen, join me in the 6-week program. Again, it's at a special price for another week before the 1st of February. You can get it at a special price, okay? If you want more information about the 6-week womb healing experience, the link is in my bio if you're watching from TikTok. The link is in my description box if you're watching from YouTube. So basically, stress plays a major role. Yes, 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 yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. You cannot heal in stress. How do we join the program? By clicking, if you click the link in my bio, scroll all the way down, it will show you how to join, okay? The link in my bio, this 6-week womb healing experience, click on that and scroll, okay? All the way down. All right, any other questions before we go? YouTube, you good? Thank you guys for joining me. I don't have fibroids, I just want my hormones balanced. Okay, we do that over here too. I'm happy that you're here. We do that over here too, okay? Any questions before we go? Okay. Real quick. And I was asking earlier, I was like, I'm wondering if anybody else was snowed in. I know I'm snowed in when we snowed in for a few days. Maybe I really need to do therapy on that. Yeah, that's pretty hard. Losing parents that early is pretty hard. So I would look for grief, some type of grief counseling for sure. So one-on-ones. I don't do one-time one-on-ones, but I do have a course to get ready to heal your hormones. I do have to have a program for that too, where you work with me over the course of 6 weeks. So I don't want self-study. I've tried. It's information overload. Okay. And Mrs., I'm happy that you know yourself, because a lot of people, you're right. I get it. Some people, self-study is not for them, and they're better with one-on-one. My 6-week womb healing experience. If you have hormonal issues as well, the 6-week womb healing experience covers that. The 6-week womb healing experience for the special rates is $1,500, okay? To work with me for 6 weeks powerfully. The original price is $2,000, and it goes back to the original price February 1st, okay? We have Klarna, we have Afterpay, we have Affirm. We also have where you can pay in half and pay the other half next month. So check out the link in my bio for payment options. We have different payment options, okay? Any last questions before we go? But as far as one-time one-on-ones, I don't really do that. I really don't. Every now and then I'll say, hey, I'm doing one-on-ones. I really don't do that. But send me a message. I'm going to just say, send me a message. We'll talk. Any other questions? And if you're watching from YouTube and you want to send me a message you want to send me an email, the link is in my bio. You can send me it. Is it online? Oh, it's on Zoom. Okay? If anybody that works with me is going to be on Zoom. All right? Have a good one. Okay, great. Message me. And try to do it right now if you can, so you don't forget, because people always, I know how people are. They forget. All right, ladies, have a good one.